Folks, it's confirmed as there has been a lot of speculation over the past few days, past few weeks surrounding what the Steelers' true intent is surrounding Aaron Rodgers and whether or not they want him back. And Adam Schefter has just dropped a bombshell report revealing the truth behind how the Steelers feel surrounding Aaron Rodgers, whether they want him back, but also where negotiations currently stand surrounding the quarterback and the Steelers. Are to break down this new report and discuss what it means going forward. But not only that, we have a ton of other updates, including Michael Pittman speaking out on how he feels about Aaron Rodgers returning and some big updates surrounding the draft as new targets have been revealed, new names have been revealed. You're going to want to stay tuned to the very end of the video, folks. There is a ton to go over today, but before we get into it, if you're a part of the percentage or aren't subscribed to the channel, there's a place to be for daily Steelers content. Now, folks, there is a lot of news to discuss today, a lot of things to go over, and ultimately we're at a point now in the the offseason where the draft's about a month away, April 23rd, I believe it is, and we were thinking, people are still wondering, do the Steelers even want Aaron Rodgers back? And it is confirmed surrounding their true intent behind it, and we'll dive into that in a moment here. But first, came out yesterday from AJ Hawk on the Pat McAfee show. I've been sending Aaron Rodgers texts that he needs to go back to Pittsburgh. He needs to play for Big Mike, and of course, this has been one of the reasons that a lot of fans expected the Steelers to pursue Aaron Rodgers is because the relationship with Mike McCarthy. Now, obviously, it's going to be up to Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day, and it seems like the Steelers are going to want to bring him back. That's what people were thinking. But folks, it is confirmed now. Adam Schefter has confirmed here that Pittsburgh wants Aaron Rodgers back, and if he wants to come back, the job is his. Now, I'm going to dive into the Kirk Cousins part in a minute, but this is good to hear because at the end of the day, this is the first time in a little bit a report from a notable reporter like Adam Schefter has come out confirming the Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers. We think back to what was, a little bit ago when Aaron Rodgers came out on the, I think it was on the Pat McAfee show as well, and basically said how there hasn't been an update, there hasn't been a contract offered, and that he's just enjoying the time with his wife. Clearly now, the Steelers want Aaron Rodgers back, and that has been confirmed through Adam Schefter. Now, he does go on to say that if he doesn't want to play, I think Kirk Cousins would be a logical pivot, which maybe, I don't really want Kirk Cousins. I would much prefer Aaron Rodgers, but I guess at this point, if you can't get Aaron Rodgers back and he decides to retire, sure, you can throw Kirk Cousins out there as a quote-unquote logical pivot. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be it's definitely a pivot. I don't know if it's logical, but this is good news. Now, you look at the Steelers, the way they currently stand, they need to figure out the quarterback position ASAP, as soon as possible. You have the draft upcoming. We're going to dive into that a little bit in this video. There's a lot of things specifically surrounding who they're going to be drafting that comes down to who they pick a quarterback. Now, obviously, Aaron Rodgers had a pretty good year last year. He's been able to stay healthy the past couple years. Durability is always going to be a question for someone who's going to be entering his age 43 season. But at the same time, he's been healthy ever since that New York Jets year back in 2023 in his first game when he got hurt there. But let's dive into a report that came out and a comment from new Steelers head coach Mike McCarthy, who hasn't been talking too much to the media and things like that, but we finally got some insight, and this dropped this morning, and he said that reuniting with Aaron Rodgers would be a great story. And Mike McCarthy and Pittsburgh Steelers need a quarterback, and the team's new head coach reuniting might be their most viable option. And they asked him, does that possibility interest McCarthy? It would be a great story, which is what Mike McCarthy said about re-signing Rodgers at a tribute event for, of course, Bob Harlan, executive Bob Harlan, former executive of the Green Bay Packers. But he wanted to say that it would be a great story. And he said, I don't know, I would love to tell everybody about the breaking news, but it's really cool to see Aaron at age 42. Obviously, he's been growing up with, he really grew up with Aaron ultimately. They both did, right? Obviously, from Mike McCarthy as a coach and, as a professional, and as Aaron Rodgers as a player. But he basically goes on to say that he doesn't have breaking news at this point. But you pair this with the fact that Adam Schefter is coming out and saying that they do want to bring it back. It's confirmed the interest is there, and it's confirmed they want him. What's not confirmed at this point is whether or not Aaron Rodgers is going to return, what the money figure is, 1 year $10 million, 1 year $15 million. Is he trying to cash out in his final year of his career? There's a lot of intangibles here that we can't really justify at this point, or at least we can justify them, but we don't know at this point. But let's keep in mind, folks, obviously there's mutual interest, right? And Aaron Rodgers, I do ultimately think he ends up as the Steelers quarterback, but with Kirk Cousins being the reported fallback option, which ultimately makes sense because they want a veteran guy who can actually take this team to the playoffs rather than somebody super young, even though there has been some conversations, some rumblings about, Will Heyward and guys like that. I'm more interested in seeing what this team can do, with Aaron Rodgers. And then, of course, you have use him as a bit of a bridge year, gap year, and then ultimately draft a quarterback in 2027. Because reports are flying that Ty Simpson's going to go in the first round. I don't think he drops to the Steelers. That would be a crazy turn of events. But let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. McCarthy wants him back. Adam Schefter says the Steelers want him back. The question is, does he want to come back? Because if he does, the job is absolutely his. Now, let's dive into a few other things on this episode. Now, I want to dive into quickly what Michael Pittman said about Aaron Rodgers before I dive into some of the draft stuff. So he said that he still hasn't talked to Aaron Rodgers and is trying to give him space, but he'd loved Aaron to come back. But whoever they pick is the perfect QB for me. What I'm looking for is just a QB who throws me the football. I love everything about Michael Pittman. I love everything about the move that they made to acquire him. Omar Khan, masterclass. And I think this is going to be the move that we look back at and we think, okay, this was the one that hopefully turns this team around, turns them into an actual playoff contender rather than just a team that gets into the playoffs and loses in the first game every year. He is the epitome of what Pittsburgh football is. I mean, at this point, he is such a good teammate already. You can kind of tell. He is, you got him for nothing. This is looking fantastic. Now, he's obviously going to be the WR2. It doesn't matter who his quarterback is. He's going to get himself open and things like that. But what does matter is who they're going to be drafting. But let me know down below what your thoughts are in the comments from, of course, Michael Pittman here. All good stuff, because there was a recent mock draft that came out. And, of course, Vega Ione from Penn State, the offensive guard, the guard from Penn State, the offensive lineman, he was projected to go to the Steelers in round 1. We have some rumblings now about their 53rd overall pick, who would be a wide receiver, Brennan Thompson. Ultimately here, there's a lot of reports about Ione. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I might not be, to be honest. But you can see here, this mock draft has the Steelers going WR wide receiver in the second round to get their WR3, which is pretty interesting. But let's dive into Ione a little bit. The clear-cut best guard in the draft is Ione, who also happens to fill the Steelers' biggest need other than QB, which is fair. They did get Brock Hoffman on the 1-year, $2.5 million deal. But he goes on to say that he's physical, a rugged guard who shows crunching power at the point of attack. He has been exceedingly reliable at Penn State and could be a plug-and-play starter for Mike McCarthy, which is true. And you have Spencer Anderson, a third-year left guard. You do now have, of course, Brock Hoffman, who'll be a veteran. He's been around for a while, left guard, relationship with Mike McCarthy from back in his time in Dallas with the Cowboys. For him here, this O-lineman from Penn State, I like the move. It would immediately fill the biggest hole, but I still want to see them go wide receiver. I really do. Now, they are going to go in this mock draft wide receiver with the 53rd overall pick, talking about how it's one of the best value moves. He's a super speedy guy. Let me know down below, and this is where I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. Like, who do you want in the first round? Do you want a wide receiver? Do you want an O-lineman? Like, the weakest point from this offseason is the O-lineman. Like, Brock Hoffman's really good. Is he a starting left guard in this league on a winning team? That is a big question mark. Now, of course, they got him at a 1-year by $2.5 million deal. He's 26 years old. He's pretty good. You can see at the bottom he's going to be competing with third-year guard Spencer Anderson for the starting left guard spot. He started 16 games for Dallas over the past 3 seasons. Like, he's not a starter per se in the sense of going to start 16 games, but something to keep in mind, he does have a relationship with Mike McCarthy. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the draft. A lot of rumblings about an O-lineman. I think they go best player available, and whoever they have at the top of their board, they're going to pick. But for any of that to matter, you need to get a quarterback, and it's good to know that Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers have mutual interest.